on the Reel. As you can see, I am in the beautiful Grant Park on a gorgeous sunny day in Atlanta. We've got some incredible things going on for you today. I'm excited about what we're going to showcase. Tyler Christensen is an incredible, successful real estate investor, real estate agent, and hard money lender. And today, Friday, Tyler, is hard money day. Let's talk about how people can get hard money and how they can calculate, right?
Absolutely. So, yep, today's my favorite day. It's numbers day.
And my least favorite day. So I'm going to watch the squirrels and the joggers and the baby strollers, but you can talk about how to calculate your profit on a deal. Now, I don't love the number part of it, but I love to talk about the profit. So just bottom line me is what I want to hear. How much money we're going to make when we flip this house. And I know a lot of people want to hear that bottom line number, but how do you get to that bottom line number? How truthful is it? I think a lot of the mistakes investors make is that they do not have a calculator and they don't really understand how to figure out what their profit's going to be. And that's why this tool is so hugely successful. So we're going to tell our listening audience today that this is the first time we're going to practice this technology. We hope it works. And if there's a little bit of craziness going on, it's just par for the course, because you know what, Tyler, there's a lot of craziness in this industry, right? You never know when the walls are going to fall down. So you just got to be able to have a plan B. So Tyler, you've got this calculator, and I'm going to just give it over to you, and hopefully I can watch and listen and learn today. So thanks so much for being our guest. And actually, you're not a guest anymore. I guess, you're a fixture. So thanks so much for being a part of On the Reel.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right. So yeah, so she mentioned that this may or may not work. So to bring up a screen share to show this calculator, I believe it's going to mute you, Tracy. So we may not
probably
have
for the best.
No. Anyway, all right. Let me play with this for a second here. So let me pull up. So investor calculator here. So, or I guess I'm going to call this more of a hard money calculator. If you're using all cash, this really isn't your calculator. So. And when I say calculator, I mean Excel spreadsheet. So let me see if I can get this popped up here. All right, I've got my screen shared. I'm going to there we go. So I've got me small in the bottom right-hand corner, and then my screen is up. So let me pull up the calculator. So, all right, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Tracy, can you see comments?
I can see nothing at all. I am texting someone to see if anybody else can.
Okay, so I hope it's sharing my screen right now. Otherwise, everyone will be lost. So anyway, all right. So right up here right now, this is a deal that Tracy and I were just going over yesterday. So essentially, we've got over on the left-hand side here, I've got the mouse over it. This is a calculator. You only change what's in yellow. So ARV, obviously very important, what you're going to sell the property for afterwards. Purchase price, in this case, we have it set right now at $200,000, and the rehab budget is $160,000. Hold time on this one, we put 7 months. 7 months because the rehab budget's $160,000. This is going to be a pop the top. Selling costs and commissions. So here I have 7%. That's 1% for the closing costs, 3% for each of the real estate agents. So anyway, so only change what's yellow. So that's a key right there just for the deal. But over on the right-hand portion, these five yellow boxes here are the hard money specific side. So looking at what your hard money lender does. Now, I'm in the lending industry, and I know a ton of different hard money lenders. So we're playing around with different options and what somebody's funding right now. So right now I've got it up there with funding 75% of the purchase price, which is, again, all these numbers are not as high as they were before this COVID-19. So everybody's asking for more money down, interest rates, points, everything's a little bit higher. But in this case, if you have a 75%, so if the lender is going to cover 75% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab, if the interest rate is 12%, which again is higher than it was a month and a half ago, and then the points being at 3%, it's been a couple years since I myself have paid 3 points, but that's That's where we are right now. And then this is the lender underwriting. Now this, what I want you guys to look at is basically just, some people call them junk fees. Every hard money lender is going to have a document prep or an underwriting fee of some sort. Typically somewhere between about $700 and $1,500 is typical. That I don't call a junk fee, that's typical. But any other fees that the lender says that they have, you want to throw that in. You want to throw that in so it calculates. Now other than the appraisal, I do have the appraisal down here in the cash needed at closing section. So anyway, only change what's in the yellow. I'm going to scroll down a tiny bit here. This calculator is designed for a couple things. First, your cash needed right down here in this blue box. So right now, the cash needed for the entire deal from start to finish is, and these are estimates, not hard numbers, but it's $89,545. So that's how much cash you would need apart from what the hard money lender is paying. And this, that includes your interest payments, that includes everything. So just one example, I'm going to go up here and change the hold time. I want you to keep an eye on your cash needed, but I'm going to change the hold time to, let's say we only needed 5 months for this. Then you see that's going to go from 89 down to just under 83,000, or vice versa. If this was going to take a full year to do, now your cash needed is 106 because your monthly holding costs are longer. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. I'm always open to ask more or answer more questions, later on as well. But this calculator is mainly designed for two things. Number one is how much cash do you need to do the deal, and how much is your profit going to be? So again, let's watch the profit number now. So right now the profit is just under 75,000. If we did only need 5 months total in and out for that, then we paid less in closing, less in holding costs. So now we went up to 81,000 for the profit. So anyway, so you can see it's built. It is a very simple calculator. I do have a couple calculators that are way more intricate and more detailed. I wanted this one to be very simple so that you can punch in your hard money info and it's going to tell you exactly that. So main thing here. So the property we're looking at, it actually is active on MLS. The listing price is over $200,000, but we looked at that and said, okay, if we're going to put about $90,000 of cash into this, we want to make about 75. So that's why we landed on a $200,000 purchase price. If the listing price was 230, then we can look at that. If we said, okay, what would happen if we offered full price? Well, we need $100,000 for the deal, and your profit is only going to be, just under 42,000. So that obviously did not make sense to us. So we're looking at that offer price, about 200,000. By the way, I never offer even numbers. So my offer would probably be $200,192.67 because they're going to think that I have my exact number, because I'm not going to budge from that number. I'm not going to go up. Once I get my number, that's my number. So obviously, the calculator is, you've got to put in your rehab and everything. So anyway, simple breakdown. It's got some estimates in here. Main thing again is knowing what you do. I want to show one more thing. So let's say your lender is doing 90%, funding 90% of it. So if you're looking at these differences, instead of an $89,000 cash needed with a just call it $75,000 profit, if my lender can do 80,000 or 80% of the purchase price instead of 100 on that one, you can see the cash needed changes. So here's an 80-100, which is a fairly common type of loan. I have it at 75 right now because we're adding so much square footage, so the leverage does go down typically the more square footage you add. So 80, let's call it a 90-90 loan. So they're covering 90% of loan to cost, or 90% of the purchase, 90% rehab. You can see that took the cash needed down to 76.9, so 77. So anyway, so this allows you to say, okay, I've got a couple different lenders. They have different ratios, some at 90-90, some are at 75-100. So whatever that is, you can punch that in. And then that's going to help you to know, okay, what's your cash needed? Remember the keys, the boxes in yellow are the ones that change. Mostly these ones right here at the top. So anyway, this is available. If you go to yourflipfunding.com, punch in your information, you're going to see it pop up and have the investor calculator. So feel free to punch in your info. We will get this out to you. And, just great for you to be able to really calculate and understand, okay, if it's going to be this many points, it's going to be this interest, you know what you need. Oh, one more thing, because this is a hard money side as well, is the cash needed at closing. So your down payment, again, this number, $36,000 that you're looking at, this is going to change depending on how much your lender's requiring or how much they're lending. So if they're only 80% of the purchase, you saw that go up. We've got, anyway, so down payment right here, your points, that'll tell you the total in points. This is the underwriting, which again, this number populated directly from whatever that says up there. If Tracy, if you're not watching, I am pointing with the arrows, not just saying up there in the no man's land. Anyway, so appraisal fee you can adjust. Property taxes, these are just estimated based off the purchase price. Title fees is an estimate based off the purchase price. And the insurance for 12 months is also based off the purchase price. So again, those are auto-populating here as estimates. But anyway, so to know two things, your cash needed at closing, $71,515. Obviously, that's just with this scenario we have. If I put that back to $90,000 or 90% of the purchase price, then you need 52. That's your estimated total down payment. And then the next one is holding costs is at $24,830. If you add 52 and that 24, that's what you're going to get with your closing or your cash needed for the entire deal over in the blue. So anyway, sorry if that bounced around just a little bit, but I wanted to go through kind of live today. So just so you can see kind of how it's put together. Happy to share this with anybody who wants access to it. There is no charge on it. So again, yourflipfunding.com. I'm going to go back and see if I can hide that. Let's see if I can pop Tracy back up here. So it's bringing her back. There we go. All righty.
Hi, everybody.
We're now on the opposite side of the screen here, but that's okay. Could you hear kind of through that?
Tyler, that was fantastic. I actually have another phone here that I was watching, and it looked fantastic. I could see everything you were doing. It was super powerful. And can you hear me okay?
Hear you great.
Okay, here I am. There you go. I just popped up on the screen. So this is very, very strange. But man, what a powerful tool. I love what you did. You broke it down super simple for even people like myself to be able to know exactly how to do this. I hope every investor and real estate agent out there can also grab this calculator because that you can share it with your investors. We definitely want to connect with Tyler Christensen. As you can see, he knows exactly what he's doing, and he is super powerful as a hard money lender. Tyler, I know that we're in a place where things are about to, I think, get a little easier on the lending side. Yep. Where do you see that going?
I don't have any exact answers right now. I haven't really seen, well, I've seen a couple of lenders somewhat loosen up their terms and, and what they're lending on, but I've only seen those ones that completely paused, who they have picked back up, but they're only doing like 60% of the purchase price. So they're still really low and not really competitive in my book as far as, it's anything close to where it was a month to a month and a half ago. But it is a sign, even just a couple of those, it is a sign that hopefully they start to come, hopefully it starts to come. I don't have I don't foresee anything directly or have a direct timeline on that, unfortunately. But right now, I'll say if you're in Atlanta, I got you covered. Got a couple of different great programs. If you're elsewhere in the country, I've got a couple different, depending on where you're at. Worst case scenario is I am open to different partnerships to jump on there with a loan, because it does require experience. So if you don't have, so if you have less than five completed flips and you're not in Georgia or a couple of select areas, just call me for those areas. But anyway, if you're not in one of those areas, I do have a couple people that are looking to partner on, which is just essentially it's putting me on the entity just for the purchasing side of it, just to give some experience on the purchase, to give you some more beneficial rates, points, interest rates, those details. I've typically just taken a small fee up front for that. And then right after closing, if you want to take me off, that's totally fine. So,
Wow.
but anyway, so we're trying to create, like you always say, a team and work together. If you've got a deal that you can't get funded, call me. Let's see what we can do to make it happen. And just let's take advantage of this time where, frankly, right now we can buy a little bit cheaper than we were a month ago. So, but if you can't get the lending, that's a huge hurdle, which is essentially why you can buy it cheaper right now. So anyway, happy to help however we can on that front. But yeah.
That's awesome, Tyler. And here in Atlanta, we are able now to get permits in I think every section of the city, from Decatur to the
Awesome.
city of Atlanta, Brookhaven. All of those places have allowed us to get new permits. So there's nothing stopping us as investors now. So let's close this out by saying, make sure you connect with Tyler right now. Definitely, if you have a house that you're looking at, a property that you're looking at, you want to connect with Tyler right away. You want that calculator, so go to yourflipfunding.com. I think we need to do more like this. I love the visual. It was really fun to watch you do that,
Yep.
Tyler. And I'm looking forward to getting back with you on Monday. We're gonna start doing some on Mondays. I think we talked about maybe taking you through some properties that we own here in Atlanta, and just talking about ways that you can make that rehab work to your advantage, things like that. So maybe we need to flip the real estate and investor around, since I'm not in the city on Mondays. Why don't we start back with real estate on Monday, agents, and Wednesday let's do investors? How about that?
That would be awesome. So Monday we'll switch it. So real estate agents will talk back to you on Monday specifically. Wednesday investors, so that you're out live on a property, kind of doing a little visual phone tour. That would be awesome. And get to see the job, see how it's going, the progress of it. And then Fridays again, talking hard money. So love it. Sounds great.
Thanks so much, Tyler. You have a fantastic weekend if I don't see you again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us on today's segment of On the Real. Tag a real estate investor. Put us in your groups. Share this information. This calculator is gold. Bye, everybody.
Yep, and feel free to share that. I know some people guard the calculator. This one, feel free to share it. Anybody not worried about copyright stuff, go for it. So,
Tyler,
again,
no. We're not going to let him share it. Veto. Yeah. The whole point is to get connected with Tyler. Tyler, you're too good. Veto that. Don't share it. Make them go online and connect with Tyler, because he's giving away, this is really gold information, and
it does have my info on it.
I know, but they need to go online. So you're being too nice.
Fair enough.
Hey, this is On the Real. I'm being real with you. You got to protect that. Let's connect with Tyler, because the whole deal is let's build that team. Bye. Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.